Okay, for number 3, it says use a quadratic equation to find two real numbers with a sum of 4 and a product of 5. So this one you actually have to create the quadratic equation. So it sounds super confusing, but if we define our variable, it's not. And again, this one I'm telling you up front has no solution, just so you know in the end this is an example of one that doesn't have a solution. And you may be given the actual quadratic and not have to come up with it. But there are some on your homework where you'll have to come up with the equation. So I'm going to say let x equal the first number. So we're saying two real numbers whose sum is 4. So I know that x plus whatever other number is equal to 4. Well, I don't really want to introduce another variable here, so what I'm going to do is just solve for x. Solve for that other number. So if I want to get this other number alone, if I subtract x from both sides, whatever that other number is 4 minus x. So I know that x times that other number, which is 4 minus x, if they're multiplied together, so now you can see I have the relationship between the two numbers. We have x, and then if you take away x from 4, that'll be your other number because these two add to give you 4, but they also multiply, that's what I'm doing right now, to give you 5. So that is our equation. We just have to put it in standard form. So now if we multiply this out, we get 4x minus x squared equals 5. And again, I want to keep this positive, so I'm going to bring everything to the right side. And remember, we're bringing everything to the right side or to one side because in order for us to be in standard form, it has to be set equal to 0. So that means everything on one side. So if I add x squared, I get 4x equal to x squared plus 5. And then I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. And then I get 0 equals x squared. I'm going to rewrite this in the order in standard form. Minus 4x plus 5. And again, I can flip that around to help, just because it looks nicer. So x squared minus 4x plus 5. That's the quadratic I'm trying to solve. So by solving this equation, I'm answering this question. Find two numbers whose sum is 4 and product is 5. So I'm going to solve this by graphing. We've got to do x equals negative b over 2a. And so b is equal to negative 4, a is equal to 1. So when we plug that in, we get negative of a negative 4 over 2 times 1. It's positive 4 over 2, which is 2. So x equals 2 is our axis of symmetry and our x value of our vertex. So in order to find the y value of our vertex, we need to plug that in. So we're going to plug in f of 2 into the equation that we had, x squared minus 4x plus 5. So 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 5. And remember, that's this function right here, because that's the function we're actually graphing and finding the x-intercepts for. So when we plug that in, we get 4 minus 8 plus 5, so that's negative 4 plus 5 is positive 1. So f of 2 equals 1. That is our vertex. So don't forget, right, vertex is 2, 1. And now we need to find some other points. So let's go, since that's our vertex, we're going to go 2 above, 2 below. So 2, 1, 0, and 3, 4. Remember, these should be twin points. So let's do the bottom two, 0 and 1. Those are easier. So f of 0 is easy because remember that's the y-intercept, so that's just our c in this equation, which is 5. So that means f of 4 is 5, and f of 2 is 1. And then f of 1 minus 4 times 1 plus 5. 1 minus 4 plus 5. 1 minus 4 is negative 3 plus 5 is 2. So f of 1 equals 2, which also means f of 3 equals 2. Now we can graph this. And again, I'm going to start by graphing my axis of symmetry, which is x equal to 2. And then I'm going to graph my vertex, which is 2, 1. And then my next point is 3, 2. And 1, 2 is its twin point. Zoom in here. And then 3, 5, and 0, 5. So there is our quadratic. Oops. Oh well, can't erase it now. There's our quadratic. And so we're looking for x-intercepts, and we can see that it does not hit the x-axis. So this one has no solution. So therefore, there's no two real numbers that multiply to give you 4 and add to give you 5. And that's because that equation represented that situation. So we have a big no solution for this one.